In August of 2022, conservatives on the West Bonner School Board in Idaho voted to rescind the English language arts curriculum just 2 weeks before the school year was set to start. They cited concerns that the curriculum was a form of, quote, liberal indoctrination, sexual grooming, and critical race theory, end quote. In Bonner County, where Republicans far outnumber Democrats and the population sits at under 50,000, residents didn't pay much attention to their school board until that summer. Dana Douglas, a parent whose kids went through the Bonner County school system, and Candy Turner, a retired Bonner County teacher, were both active members of their community. Dana and Candy started getting calls from friends asking if they had heard what was happening with the school curriculum. They were horrified and were faced with a question: who was on the school board and how did they end up there? What they found was what appeared to be a far-right takeover of the district. Keith Rutledge and Susan Brown, the two board members whom Dana and Candy identified as the most anti-public education, won their seats by tiny margins. They barely even held campaigns, just yard signs up around the county. Under their leadership, the school week was shortened to just 4 days. Anti-trans policies were passed, which banned teachers from calling students by their preferred pronouns. They required students to use bathrooms and locker rooms corresponding to their genders assigned at birth, and restricted trans students from participating in sports. And 31% of teachers, counselors, and education leaders left the district. Dana and Candy, together with concerned residents, began attending school board meetings. These meetings had once been attended by just a handful of spectators, but with Dana and Candy's advocacy, over 100 people started showing up regularly. They realized there was only one way to fix their school district: to recall Rutledge and Brown. Together with other residents, they formed a group, the West Bonner County School District Recall, Replace, Rebuild. Dana and Candy opened their houses to hundreds of people who spread the word about the recall effort, collecting signatures and registering people to vote. Their activism was met with threats. Militia members showed up to school board meetings. People with cameras began to follow Dana and Candy, but they continued to push for what they thought was right. In the end, over 1,200 people voted in the recall, and 1 year after the decision to rescind the district's ELA curriculum, Keith Rutledge and Susan Brown were recalled. Dana and Candy never saw themselves becoming this politically active. Their small acts of courage took them far outside their comfort zones and helped save a school district from a far-right takeover. Candy Turner and Dana Douglas join me now. Dana is the chairwoman and Candy is the treasurer of the West Bonner County School District Rebuild. Welcome to both of you. Thank you for being with us. And I hope we've told that story as accurately as we can. And it's important, Dana, because you identify as a conservative Republican, and Candy, you identify as an independent. Neither of you considered yourselves to be particularly political before this. So, Candy, let me start with you. What caused you to take such a strong stance?
I've seen people coming into our district and our community that were not for public education or our children.
Dana, what about you? What caused you to join this fight?
Same thing. I was a volunteer for over 30 years in our school district. And when people started contacting me and saying, hey, there's some weird stuff going on. I spent too many years, and knowing how the school worked, I'm like, okay, we need to figure out what's going on here. And we need to do what's best for our kids at this community.
And Candy, part of this for you was, politics aside, maintaining the strength of the public education system. Idaho has some of the worst funded public schools in the nation. And you were dealing, your issue was less politics than why are you people sort of interested in less investment in public education or less investment in what is supposed to happen to public education?
Well, nobody understands how Idaho funds education. They only fund 1/3 of it from the state end, and they expect local school districts to fund 1/3, and then 1/3 comes from the federal government. But people do not understand that. They think that the state fully funds education. So if you don't pass a levy here, you lose 1/3 of your profits, and that way you can't fund any of your projects that need to be funded.
And the issue, of course, is that I certainly wouldn't have known that. Many of my viewers wouldn't. But people in your own community may not know that. And Dana, through leading this recall election, you ended up helping many people in the community become active citizens. Active citizens become more informed about politics. That helps democracy, right? Democracy depends on citizens being informed, and that's the role that the two of you played.
Right.
Yeah, I'm proud to say, I looked it up. The day of the recall, we had over 125 people registered to vote. And that was an August special election. It wasn't a normal time. And so I felt very proud about that. I felt proud to talk to people about, having that, though, doing the right thing about getting out and voting and how important it is to be an active citizen and always casting your ballot. Don't take it for granted. Little local elections matter, and that's what really affects your life on the daily basis.
Which is ironic, Candy, because they actually, for most people, matter more than their state legislative elections. They matter much more than their presidential elections. And yet we turn out for the big ones because all the media coverage goes to those ones. What you need happens in your community.
Right. People don't understand that you might not make a difference in your state elections or your national elections, but you do make a big difference in your local elections, and that you have to get out and vote. And you have to vote. Nobody's asking them to vote a certain way.
Yes.
We're just asking them to go out and make a vote.
Yeah.
Outstanding. You hit the nail on the head. Thank you for what you both did. Thank you for not letting politics guide your civic engagement, but letting civic engagement guide your decisions to do this. Candy Turner and Dana Douglas, the treasurer and the chairperson of the West Bonner County School District Rebuild in Idaho.